In the vast waiting hall of the airport, passengers were quietly awaiting their flights, with only the sound of rolling suitcases and periodic announcements breaking the silence. The early morning rush had eased by noon, and security officers were carrying out their routine checks in a more relaxed manner. But then, something happened that no one had expected. A crackling announcement from a security officer's radio suddenly changed the atmosphere. A suspicious suitcase has been found. Initiate security protocol immediately. The announcement first echoed like an unpleasant buzz, then spread like an invisible wave through the airport. At first, people didn't grasp the severity of the situation, but within moments, chaos erupted. The security personnel sprang into action. Passengers were hurriedly evacuated, and the area around the suitcase was cordoned off with security tape. Within minutes, the airport security teams arrived at the scene. Bomb disposal experts, dressed in black uniforms with determined expressions, quickly took control of all surveillance cameras and locked down exits. The suitcase had been abandoned. There was no tag, no name, no indication of ownership. It was as if someone had deliberately left it there and vanished. At that moment, the K-9 unit was summoned. Highly trained bomb-sniffing dogs were quickly brought to the scene. The crowd of passengers had been pushed back, but everyone watched anxiously from a distance. One of the K-9 dogs, a sharp-eyed, black-furred dog named Max, swiftly began circling the suitcase. Guided by his handler, he sniffed carefully, making quick, alert movements to signal the team. Suddenly, he froze, ears standing tall, tail rigid, a danger signal. The unease spread through the watching crowd. The bomb disposal team immediately donned their protective suits and deployed a remote-controlled robot. The robot slowly approached the suitcase, using its mechanical arm to assess the level of risk. Just then, the airport's loudspeakers broadcasted a calm but firm message. Dear passengers, please remain calm. Due to security measures, certain areas have been temporarily closed. Thank you for your understanding. The robot's initial report confirmed the presence of an electronic device inside the suitcase. This heightened the bomb squad's caution. Fingers tightened on triggers, breaths were held. Airport staff and passengers were now entirely focused on every move the specialists made. Within minutes, the team prepared for a controlled opening of the suitcase. A bomb expert carefully approached, using specialized tools to unlock the suitcase's latches. As the lid slowly lifted, what was inside sent a shockwave through the crowd. A real bomb. The timer was counting down rapidly. 2:35, iran de mupatanangu. The specialists sprang into action immediately. It was now a race against time for everyone in the airport. The explosive device was highly sophisticated. One wrong move could spell disaster. Security forces accelerated the terminal evacuation. Panicked passengers ran toward the exits. Meanwhile, the bomb expert worked swiftly. The bomb was fully armed, with only minutes left. The team leader suggested a remotely operated disarmament procedure. The team closely examined the explosive circuits. The tension in the room was palpable. Red or blue, the expert asked, sweat beading on his forehead. Time was running out. After a brief but agonizing silence, a decision was made. A specialist, hands trembling slightly, brought the cutters close to one of the wires. The final moment had arrived. Eyes widened, hearts pounded. Finally, the wire was cut. The bomb was deactivated. As the countdown froze, the experts let out a deep sigh of relief. But this was far from over. Who had placed this bomb and why? Security footage was reviewed, revealing a suspicious man who had left the suitcase behind. He had moved quickly, blending into the crowd before disappearing. However, his face was clearly captured by the cameras. All airport exits were sealed, and the police launched a full-scale manhunt. After hours of searching, the suspect was found hiding behind a cafe. He was carrying fake passports and additional explosive materials. During interrogation, he remained silent, but further investigations revealed his connection to a major terrorist organization. Following this incident, airport security was heightened to extraordinary levels. Passengers underwent lengthy but necessary security screenings. A massive disaster had been averted that day, but everyone knew that such threats would always remain. As a result, airport officials announced even stricter protocols and new safety measures. The event dominated headlines for days. The media covered the story extensively, and authorities continued their investigations. But the most important thing was that hundreds of lives had been saved that day. A moment of vigilance had prevented a catastrophe,